In the heart of Basotho Mountains, where ancient traditions echo through time, lived a young woman named Lehakwe. She was the daughter of Chief Leruo, a man of stern resolve and deep-rooted customs. Lehakwe herself was a vision of beauty, always adorned in the most intricate of beadwork and colorful Basotho blankets, reflecting her noble lineage. One faithful day, as the sun kissed the rolling hills with golden hues, Lehakwe found herself wandering by the Caledon River. The moment was serene, with the sounds of nature harmonizing in the background, when her eyes fell upon Tumelo, a valiant herdsman tending to his flock. His presence exuded a quiet strength, his simple traditional attire adorned by his sincerity and kindness. The two exchanged glances, and in the moment, a silent connection formed between them. It was as if the river whispered their fates, intertwining their paths in a bond neither could ignore. Despite the complexities of their social standings and the potential repercussions, Lehakwe and Tumelo grew closer with each passing day. They met under the cover of night, their hearts beating in harmony with the rhythmic drums that echoed through the valleys. Their love blossomed in secrecy, away from the prying eyes of their community. Every glance, every whispered word was a testament to their growing affection. They spoke of dreams, shared their fears, and made promises under the vast starlit sky. Lerato, Lehakwe's close friend and confidant, had always supported her in all her endeavors. But when Lerato discovered the clandestine meetings between Lehakwe and Tumelo, she found herself torn. Her loyalty to her friend collided with the duty to the community and its traditions. Lerato's distress was palpable, and her turmoil did not go unnoticed. Soon, word reached Chief Leruo, and the peace that had once enveloped Lehakwe and Tumelo's secret world began to crumble. Chief Leruo, upon learning of the affair, called for a gathering of the elders. The community was steeped in traditions, and the news of Lehakwe's forbidden love was a scandal that threatened their way of life. At the heart of the gathering, Chief Leruo stood tall, adorned in his most regal Basotho blanket and traditional headgear. His voice rang out with authority as it demanded that Lehakwe and Tumelo end their relationship for the sake of tradition and the community's peace. Lehakwe and Tumelo publicly ended their relationship that day, in front of the chief and the elders. However, despite the overwhelming pressure and the risk of severe repercussions, Lehakwe and Tumelo's resolve only grew stronger. They refused to let go of their love and sought refuge in the sacred mountain of Thaba Bosiu, a place of ancient power and reverence. Under the warm glow of the setting sun, they stood atop Thaba Bosiu and made a sacred pact. They vowed to honor their love and each other, seeking strength and guidance from the sacred mountain. With the support of a few understanding allies amongst Tumelo's friends, including Lerato, who finally chose to stand by her friend, Lehakwe and Tumelo found a way to balance their love and their cultural duties, with Lehakwe sneaking out to meet with Tumelo. As the days turned into weeks since the day the chief called a meeting with the elders and the two young people, the whispers of Lehakwe's clandestine meetings with Tumelo reached the ears of Chief Leruo once more. The chief, unwavering in his commitment to preserve his family's honor and the customs of his people, decided to act. He called upon Katiso, one of his most trusted guards, and gave him a discreet mission. Katiso was to follow Lehakwe on her secret escapades and gather concrete evidence to present to the chief. Katiso obeyed without question, shadowing Lehakwe through the labyrinth paths of mountains terrain. His footsteps were silent, his eyes sharp as he tracked every move, waiting for the right moment to catch her in her act of defiance. But unbeknownst to Katiso, Lerato, ever vigilant and protective of a friend, noticed his presence. The clever and resourceful Lerato quickly devised a plan to divert the guard's attention and protect Lehakwe's secret. Lerato approached Katiso with a disarming smile. Her eyes twinkling with a mischievous light, she began to flirt with him, using her charm and wit to distract him. Katiso, taken aback by Lerato's beauty and attention, found his resolve wavering. As the days passed, Lerato's flirtations grew bolder, and Katiso's reports to Chief Leruo grew sparse and vague. Each encounter with Lerato left him more entranced, leading him further away from his original mission. It wasn't long before Lerato and Taba's playful banter blossomed into something deeper. The spark of attraction ignited into a passionate affair, one that mirrored the fervor of Lehakwe and Tumelo's forbidden love. The new romance between Lerato and Katiso unfolded under the same starlit sky that had witnessed Lehakwe and Tumelo's secret vows. Their love grew in the shadow of the deceit that had initially brought them together, creating a tangled web of emotions and loyalties. Unaware of the burgeoning romance between Lerato and his guard Katiso, Chief Leruo grew increasingly frustrated by the lack of tangible evidence against Lehakwe. His patience wore thin, and he began to suspect that something was amiss. Lerato, fearing that a deceit might be discovered, confided in Lehakwe and Tumelo. The trio realized the precariousness of the situation, but vowed to protect each other and navigate the treacherous path that lay ahead. Despite the mounting pressures and the risk of severe consequences, the bonds of love and friendship between Lehakwe, Tumelo, Lerato, and Katiso only grew stronger. Each of them drew strength from their shared struggles and the timeless beauty of the Basotho mountains that surrounded them. And so their journey continued, each day a testament of their unwavering love and the courage to forge their own paths amidst the ancient traditions that had shaped their lives. As the reality of ongoing secrecy began to weigh heavily on both couples, Lehakwe's heart brimmed with anxiety for Tumelo, Katiso, Lerato, and herself. The thought of the severe punishment that could befall them, especially the men they had fallen in love with, was almost too much to bear. Lehakwe knew that her father, Chief Leruo, would not easily relent. She steeled herself for the inevitable confrontation, knowing that their love needed to be defended publicly to stand any chance of survival. One moonlit evening, in the privacy of their secret meeting place, Lehakwe turned to her three allies and spoke with unwavering resolve. "We must face my father and the elders. It's the only way our love cannot remain hidden in the shadows forever." Tumelo placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "If we stand together, perhaps they will see our determination and the purity of our intentions." The next day, with heavy hearts and hopeful spirits, Lehakwe approached her father's chief advisor, Ndate Tao, to request a meeting with the chief and the elders. She explained her intent, a declaration of love in front of the entire village. The advisor, though surprised and skeptical, couldn't deny the request of the chief's daughter and agreed to relay the message. As word spread about the impending meeting, curiosity and whispers began to fill the village. As the sun began to set on the day of the meeting, the entire village gathered in the central square. The mood was tense, with villagers murmuring amongst themselves, wondering what revelation would come forth. The elders sat in a solemn semicircle with Chief Leruo under the big baobab tree at the center, his expression stern and unreadable. Lehakwe, Tumelo, Lerato, and Katiso kneeled down side by side in front of the villagers and the elders and the chief as a sign of respect and humility, facing down, their hands intertwined, ready to face whatever judgment awaited them. My daughter, what is this matter of great importance that commands the presence of the entire village? Chief Leruo's voice boomed, silencing the crowd. Lehakwe stood up and stepped to talk, her voice steady despite a thundering heart. Father, elders, my dear villagers, we come respectfully and humbly before you to declare our love and seek your understanding. Tumelo and I, Lerato and Katiso, we wanted to let you know that our hearts are bound by love that defies the traditional boundaries you set. There was a collective gasp from the villagers, and the Chief Leruo's face hardened as he listened. Tumelo stood up and spoke next, his voice calm but firm. We do not seek to undermine traditions, but to show that love, in its purest form, can stand alongside them. Our love is not a rebellion, but a testament to the unity we believe should define our people. Lerato and Katiso also took turns speaking, expressing their heartfelt commitment to each other and their hope that the community would embrace their unions. For a few moments, there was a profound silence. The elders conferred in low tones, their faces grave and serious. Finally, Chief Leruo rose to speak. Love is indeed a powerful force, he began, voice resonating with authority. But it has never stood alone in our culture. Our ways handed down from generation to generation are the pillars that uphold our society. Lehakwe, feeling the weight of what was to come, held Tumelo's hand tightly. Father, isn't love one of those pillars? Isn't the union of two souls something sacred that nurtures the very fabric of our community? An elder, his voice filled with wisdom, interjected. Young ones, your love challenges the norms we have lived by. For us to accept this, you must show us that it does not erode but enriches our traditions. Chief Leruo, seeing the determination and sincerity in their eyes, decided to set a trial of commitment. If you are to convince us, you must undergo a test. Tumelo and Katiso will be tasked with providing their worth and loyalty to our traditions through trials that signify strength, bravery, and respect for our ways. Tumelo bowed his head respectfully. We accept the challenge. Katiso echoed his sentiments. "We will prove that our love is worthy." The first trial was a test of strength and endurance, a traditional race and a heavy lifting task that would demonstrate the physical prowess of Tumelo and Katiso. The village gathered at dawn. The air changed with anticipation. Tumelo, with his background as a herdsman, and Katiso, trained as a royal guard, prepared themselves for the challenge ahead. Lehakwe, in a silent prayer, whispered to Tumelo, "Be strong, my love. Show them the man you are." Lerato, equally resolved, embraced Katiso. "Our future rests on your shoulders today. Be fearless." The trial was grueling, but both Tumelo and Katiso performed admirably. Their determination and love for Lehakwe and Lerato fueled their every step and lift. By the end of the day, it was clear to all that they had met and exceeded the expectations set before them. Chief Leroy, though still stern, could not fully hide the hint of admiration in his eyes as he addressed them. "You have shown strength and resilience, but there are more trials to come." As the sun set on the trial's result, Lehakwe and Tumelo, Lerato and Katiso stood hand in hand, filled with newfound hope. Though trials lay ahead, their love had begun to carve a path, and in that path they found strength. The next trials tested their intelligence and resourcefulness. Tumelo and Katiso were tasked with solving intricate puzzles and proving their understanding of Basotho customs. Another trial, they were tasked to work in the field by bringing food to the elders daily for 7 days to show their ability to provide food for their families. Day by day, they showed not only their physical prowess, but also their sharp minds and deep respect for the culture. After completing the trials, Chief Leroy and the village elders convened to deliberate. There was much debate, but the elders couldn't ignore the men's undeniable achievements and the sincerity of their love for Lehakwe and Lerato. Chief Leroy finally rose, his voice solemn. "It is time for the village to hear our decision." A gathering was called again, and the entire village buzzed with anticipation. Chief Leroy stood before the crowd, with the couples by his side. "My people, through rigorous trials, Tumelo and Katiso have proven their worth. While love will be honored, our traditions stand firm. I decree that the new laws will respect both love and our ancestral customs." He then turned to the couples. "Because of your relationship with my daughter, I am forced to keep all of you in the royal compound as the elders advised." Turning to Katiso, "You shall continue to work in the palace as part of the royal guards, but no longer your previous rank." To Lerato, "Since you are the daughter of my late wife's seamstress and have become my daughter's best friend and sister since childhood, you shall also serve in a royal capacity as the royal maid's supervisor, guiding them with wisdom." To Tumelo, "You shall from now on no longer work as a herdsman, but work within the royal compound. You will be trained in treasury using your experience from keeping the king's livestock safe in the wilderness as you are preparing to marry my daughter." To Lehakwe, "My daughter, you have shown leadership qualities, fearlessness, and initiative. You will therefore be trained by myself and heads of all different departments of our royal governance for as long as I'm still alive. Since I do not have a son, you will be tested time and again to see if you are fit to be the first female chief when my ancestors called me." The villagers shouted and ululated with joy for the 4 young lovers, as well as hearing new possibilities of finding love in places where it was never allowed before. The village celebrated with 2 weddings. Lerato and Katiso's wedding was celebrated on a beautiful and sunny day in the village. It was more modest but filled with joy, highlighted the journey together. 2 months later, on a beautiful summer day in the center square, the grand wedding of Tumelo and Lehagwe, rich in tradition, marked the union of love and legacy. The royal bride, adorned in a beautiful Sishweshwe print gown embellished with glistening beads and a matching headscarf, smiling with the groom wearing Sishweshwe print pants, a Basotho blanket and a Basotho hat. It was indeed a beautiful day. In their happiness, the villagers realized the lesson. Love is a force that can coexist with tradition, forging a new path forward. And so, 2 paths united under the gaze of the Basotho sky, showing that love, courage, and respect for tradition could harmonize to create a brighter future. The villagers learned that while customs form the foundation, love adds the spirit that sustains life. The union became a symbol of hope, showing the community that tradition and modernity could coexist. Thank you for tuning in onto this story, for listening and watching till the end. Please stay tuned for more tales of courage, love, and tradition. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more enchanting stories from the heart of Africa. Until next time, let the heart lead you through life's trials and celebrations. Bye.